You know the moment when you work with a client and then there is this feeling that rises in you that there is something off and you don't really know why, or maybe you know why. So it might be that your insecurities about the fulfillment within this client project comes to light, and you are thinking about how do you fulfill on this project? How do you really satisfy what the client really wants? Or if you just sense this feeling that between you two, there's something off. You don't really know what, but you see that the work doesn't make the progress as you expected. The client doesn't work or doesn't provide any work to you, or doesn't provide the answers to you as you expect from clients. So you sense that there is something off. And this is true for a lot of entrepreneurs. And the problem here is really that the most people really try to hide this feeling. They try to not only hide the feeling, they try to yeah, they really want to lead the person and try to be stronger than ever, just to convince the other person that they are on the right track, and over or just stop the feeling. They really try to not feel the feeling and think, yeah, now they need to deliver something, or they just to get over the feeling so that they get rid of it somehow. But this is completely the wrong way how you really solve this problem, because when you feel this, then the other person will feel it too. It's completely obvious. So if you think about your friends, and if you have, or with the relationship with your girlfriend or boyfriend, it doesn't matter. So in your relationship, you sense this, even if you don't really know what it is. You sense if there's anything wrong within this relationship. So what are you doing? Do you avoid this? Do you ignore it? Or do you do something else with it? And the same is true in business. You do business with people, nothing else. And you need to handle this relationship as you handle any relationship with other people. And the worst thing that you can do is ignore the feeling and hide it from the other person. And make you stronger. This doesn't serve you, and this doesn't serve your clients. And this is exactly what my client experienced, and where we had the coaching call together just to unpack this for him, that he really could see what he is doing. And he just approached me and said, yeah, I don't really know if I really can fulfill on what we signed the contract on. And I told him, yeah, you need to take your feelings, take your thoughts to the client and really talk with them about this. But there's one thing that you need to consider. I will talk with you about this in a second. So really make sure that you are clear about yourself, what the feeling is and why this feeling is there. It doesn't matter if it's about you or the other person. So if you have a problem or the other person has a problem, it doesn't really matter. You are the guy who needs or leads your client, and you are there to leading your client from one stage to another. That's what you do with your business. So you need to be clear about yourself and also the other person. And if you think it's not my fault, or I don't have a problem, so for me everything is right, but you sense something from the other side, then this is also good, because then you are clear about yourself as well. You need to have this clarity about yourself, and you don't need the clarity about the other person because you can ask them. But there's one crucial thing that I really need to address, and this is true also for my client there. So he has a client who is, you really have to think about the personality, the character. And you might be aware of these models where you analyze people, like DISC model or 16 personality test. And you really have to think about your client. What character is he? You don't really need to understand him fully, but you need to be aware of the world of your client. If you really can do this. So, for example, you have there the leader, a really strong extrovert leader. You need to approach him completely different than someone who is more like, yeah, I want to keep the group safe, I want to care about my people, they should stay calm, and everything should be, or everybody loves each other, so to speak. And you need to approach these two persons completely different. So that's why you need to be aware of the person, the client character you are working with. And with my client, we had this coaching call about this topic, what I'm explaining here now, was really a person. He is more taking care of everything so that everything is going smooth, everyone has a good relationship to each other. So we couldn't approach this person, or we need to approach this person or his clients differently than this extrovert leader going out there being strong. So I just want to focus this, or make you aware of this, that you need to approach these two persons differently. And I want to show you what I would do with a client who is more extrovert and really strong, has a strong meaning, and also what you should do if you have such another client with a different character. So let's talk first about this character who is really strong, extrovert and outgoing, and really a leader. So you really sense this in his environment. He is really strong in his opinion and what he's doing. And then you need to be strong as well. If you provide them with different solutions to your problem, so for example, you approach him and you have different problems with him, and then you approach him with different options, this might lead to the wrong outcome, because he wants to jump in and he wants to be the leader, but you are the leader because you signed the contract with him and said, yeah, I can lead you from A to B or do X for you. And this takes completely off your credibility and the trust with this person. So that's why you need to approach him eye to eye on the same level, or at least a little bit higher, and you need to be strong in what you want. And you need to really face the facts and approach him directly and speak directly to this person. So here's what I have, this is a problem, what do you think? And if you have a solution, state your solution. And this is how I would like to solve it with you. And this shows him as well that you are strong and you are leading this person. So if you have the other kind of person, a client who really is calm and tries to balance everything, they might not even think about approaching you with the problem. So they sense it, but they don't really approach you because they try to stabilize everything and keep everything calm. And you need to approach this person on the same level. So you really mirror the person with his character traits that they have. So you go to them and try to evaluate the same situation. So if you don't know why you have these feelings in your gut, and really talk about this. And then you can provide also different solutions to them. Would you like to approach this from this angle, or would you like to have this solutions? So there you can have different solutions and provide it to them. With this strong extrovert person, it's not that good idea to provide them different solutions. You can talk about more solutions, but I would say it's often they just want to have one solution, that's it, go and move forward. The other person, and that's why I pick these two extremes, because they are extreme characters and opposite characters you need to take care of and will need to handle. So the other person who are soft and relationship driven, they need to have this conversation about the options. So really to find a solution together. This makes them feel good, even though if it's your solution that you came up with. But this is how you really solve these problems, and this is so crucial. I saw this a lot within my old company, but also now with my clients, that they are facing this relationship problems with their clients. And this is so crucial that you don't hide yourself, that you really jump on a call with them, just say them, I need to talk with you about our work here. It's not very critical, but we need to talk about this. Yeah, that's just the framing that you need to do. And then you do what you would do with a normal friend, where you really have a good relationship, talk honestly about it. And the other person will recognize this and will trust you even more afterwards. And this is also what most people don't get, because they don't do this. And so the other person really sense that there is something off. So over the time, they don't trust you. The trust erodes. And so that's why most people cannot do business with their clients and do longer business with their existing clients, because they don't foster this relationship with their clients, especially when they have this bad feeling. And I experienced this on my own for several times, where I thought that I don't really want to work with this client, but then I approached them and openly shared what my concerns were, and then they shared their opinions, and the relationship was completely different and much better than before. And this is why I think it's so crucial, if you have this feeling in your gut, really approach your client, really talk to each other and solve the situation. See you in the next video.